Hello ladies, friends, pen pals, welcome back. This is the third of the 5 item challenge, and these items were given to me by Katie Meinhardt. Thank you, Katie. It was a challenge, and welcome one at that. I think it always is going to be, isn't it, because you haven't picked your own pieces. But the piece that stands out for me in this group is the card with Nathaniel Hawthorne's face. He wrote The Scarlet Letter, which was published in 1850. And if you haven't read that book, I recommend that you give it a try. Obviously, it's quite dated now, but there are lots of things about it that make you think, and certainly worth reading. So I'll just give you a little quick resume of that before I show you the page. The story begins in 17th century Boston, then a Puritan settlement. A young woman, Hester Prynne, is led from the town prison with her infant daughter, Pearl, in her arms and a scarlet letter A on her breast. A man in the crowd tells an elderly onlooker that Hester is being punished for adultery. Hester's husband, a scholar much older than she is, sent her ahead to America, but he never arrived in Boston. The consensus is that he has been lost at sea. While waiting for her husband, Hester has apparently had an affair as she has given birth to a child. She will not reveal her lover's identity, however, and the scarlet letter, along with her public shaming, is her punishment for her sin and her secrecy. On this day, Hester is led to the town scaffold and harangued by the town fathers, but she again refuses to identify her child's father. So that's the introduction to the story. And this is what I made of the pieces. So here's the page. And I've put the card on the back of an envelope. Here is the card that came. So that's one of the pieces. The second piece is the piece of doily, which I've put on this little card with the tape, and inside there's room for notes. What do you mean to me? It's a love story, obviously, the Scarlet Letter. Then this is the third item, which is a belly band, and I've put in here a Royal Mail stamp book. This is how we buy our stamps. The stamps are in there. I've left it blank so that you can stick whatever you want in it. And I use that because obviously it's scarlet. And that's why I've chosen this piece of red here. That's the A, which Hester had on her. She had a badge with A on it. And I've just added these words: for thy sweet love remembered, and while he was gone. This was another of the elements, this little bottle. So I put a heart in there. Because Hester was sent on to Boston on her own, she gave up on her husband in the end, had the affair with Dimmesdale, I think his name was. Dimmesdale, that's right. And they had a daughter, Pearl. But what would you do if you were in that situation? She obviously loved Dimmesdale. And when her husband, her real husband, turned up, how would she react to that? Would she even recognise him? It reminded me a little bit of the film Summersby. I don't know if you saw that Richard Gere film. I don't know if it was based maybe loosely on this story. It might have been. But the husband goes on to keep his identity secret. And what was worse was that Dimmesdale, the lover, wouldn't admit that he was the lover and the father of Pearl. He does at the very end admit it and kisses his daughter, and she kisses him back, so they acknowledge each other. But times were different then, and people frowned on anything that wasn't the norm. And it makes for a very intriguing story. Inside the envelope, I've put a piece of paper to write on for your notes, because there's not a lot of writing space here, and I don't want to cover it all up. You could carry on with this page if you wanted to. You could decorate more on the little booklet. You could put flowers or something else. I tried to balance the blue on there with the blue here. And also in the envelope, there's another little envelope. It's a little tiny one. There's nothing in there at the moment. That is an impression of the doily that I've stamped through, creating a little semicircle that you could also write on. And of course this side is blank for fitting in the journal. So that's what I did, Kate. I hope you approve. These again were the original pieces. Of course it threw me when it says the Scarlet Letter, so I had to have scarlet in it somewhere. And then she gave me blue and green tape, so you know, that was hard to fit in. So I've actually gone more with the scarlet than the blue. But I did use it here and here on the tap. So I hope you like it, Kate. I had great fun making it. Thank you.